Hello, this is Jennifer Fox, and welcome to our second video and our second episode of Fox Talks. We are excited to come to you with a new topic today. And what we really want to talk about today is the value of owning properties that are being rented by other people. So, the value of being an investor in rental properties. There's all sorts of ways that people invest their money and their assets. And one of those ways tends to be in real estate. So, you might own your own property that you live in, and then you might have through the years decided to buy an investment property, or you've inherited a property that you've kept as an investment property, or you might have a family member whose property you are now managing for them and you've become an investor in that way. And so you hired a company like Fox Property Management and to help you manage this property because for some of you it is that you need the extra support. You don't have the time to find tenants, you don't have the time to work through maintenance issues, and so you've hired property management. For other people, you're living out of state, you really need the support and the feet on the ground and eyes on the property. But real estate isn't just a passive rent collecting type of investment. It's a long term investment. And what we have found in our community, Boulder County and surrounding areas in Colorado, is that in general, this has been an incredibly good investment. And it honestly depends on when you bought and the interest rates you have. Now, not all of you have your properties leveraged. Some of you own them with cash. And so you're considering, am I getting a good return on my cash? But in general, throughout the lifetime of this investment, you are having to reinvest. You're having to, do maintenance on the property. You are needing to potentially raise or maybe lower rents. You might have a large mitigation or something that happens unexpectedly at the property. You might be seeing some of your expenses go up around your HOA, around the cost of maintenance and some of the items that we need to do to take care of your property. So there's all sorts of things that are happening at the property all the time. But this asset is tangible. This is something that you can visit. It's something you can get pictures of. It's something you can improve. You have opportunities to control this asset. And I think that makes it a really beneficial investment. There's tax advantages to owning a depreciable asset as well. And so, ask your tax advisor about it and make sure that you're set up in a way that you are reporting things in a way to take advantage of that. But it's one of the great aspects of owning property. Leveraging the appreciation over time. Where we live, properties continue to appreciate. And we've had, obviously big swings with major increases in appreciation. And then right now we're sitting in a moment where, prices, if you were going to sell this property, have gone down a little bit and appreciation's down a little. But in the long run, appreciation continues to move forward and move up. And so it's really a positive aspect of owning property. And so the market goes up and down, but with real estate, you're building in, value in multiple ways. You've got the rent, you've got the equity, the appreciation, you have smart upgrades, and hopefully we're advising you, what are the things that you need to spend money on and what things do you not need to spend money on in your investment property. And so having those conversations with us, I think that, there's a lot of different ways to invest your money, and differentiating how you do that makes sense. One of the things that I think is beneficial about owning properties is the control you have. You have a lot of influence over the success of this investment. So through your upgrades, through your rental strategy, through the timing of the lease, you control this. This is not putting your money in a stock and hoping that that company manages it well. This is something you have a lot of control over. From a cash flow perspective, the property pays you and grows in value over time. And so that's also, for some of you, you're not getting cash flow and it's really just an appreciation opportunity. And for some of you, there's money coming to you on a regular basis. The other thing is there's a lot of stability in this investment because housing is a need. It's not a trend. People need it. And we have people moving here all the time, and it's expensive to buy. So living in a property and in a rental is needed right now. So what you're providing is a needed and in sometimes a scarce resource. When you own property, you don't have to, ride the wave. You're basically building the boat. You're in control of what you're doing and your control of this asset and your control of how long you're going to hold it, when you're going to sell it. And so that makes it a really good investment. Many owners view maintenance as a loss, and I get that. And oftentimes it surprises us and we are caught off guard. New hot water heater. Oh, we need a new refrigerator. But oftentimes, if it's the mindset around that. What are the improvements over time? What money am I reinvesting into this asset every year to make sure that it maintains its value? And so it can be a smart move. And so it's a bit of a reframe, that um, if you are going to keep the property and you have an old roof, putting a new roof on protects the asset on a couple different levels. It avoids leaks, it avoids bigger issues, and if you go to sell it, it's you will get that return on investment. Updated appliances, tenants love those. They tend to be more efficient. They make your property look better. So, as you're upgrading one appliance at a time, you be thoughtful about what you're upgrading. Maybe you're moving from white to stainless and it's an improvement over time. Energy efficiency, of course, makes a huge difference to your tenants because they're paying the bills on, power, electricity, gas. But the idea is that when you're investing money in your property, it should serve a future value. And when you approach it that way and you think of it that way, it helps you make smarter choices around those improvements. Um, you know, the concept and where we're coming from is that wealth from real estate's not built year over year. It's not always quick. It's something that you hold the asset, you treat it wisely, you let the market drive it, and you manage it, and it works for you, and you hopefully hire a company like ours where we're paying attention and we're taking care of the daily things so that you're not getting that phone call at 10 o'clock at night about hot water heater. So you're allowing someone else to run this business aspect of your investment. And there's not a perfect time. I mean, oftentimes we get surprised, but you need time, attention, and a strategy. And that's what makes real estate a great investment. Um, I'm curious, I think that this is a time in the market where a lot of people are wondering, should I just get out of the market? Is this worth it? Should I be an investment, investing in real estate? There's so many new laws, there's new, landlord tenant, compliance things. I'm losing control of some of the things I used to be able to control, with fair housing. I feel like I don't have the same grasp over the daily operations of my property. And I think that that's, you're not alone in that. And I think that for some people, they're able to make that shift over because they've seen the value of this asset and they're glad to keep it and it's a good place for their money. Other people, it kind of depends on why you're in the market. Some of you are in the market with one property, some are you in the market with 10. So you have different objectives, you have different goals. But being a landlord and owning property is still a really, really smart investment. We need good properties for people to live in. And we experience very, very positive tenant interactions in general. And the new legislation and a lot of the laws coming out are overcorrections on, you know, bad behavior of the past. And it is something we pay a lot of attention to. Some of the things that have changed have been very easy for us to adapt to because it's who we were as a management company anyways. The way that we're communicating, the lack of fees that we were hiding in leases. We weren't doing that anyways. That was easy. But there's other things that have made it harder. And it's been harder to be a landlord because there's more rules and there's more compliance and there's more things that we need to pay attention to. But as a company, as Fox Property Management, we can take on that aspect of your management. We are comfortable with it. We have a director of compliance on staff who all she does is pay attention to what's going on, from the leases to the way that we move through eviction process, to the way that we vet tenants and fair housing, to every document that goes out there, the way that we market. She's paying attention to those things so you do not have to. She's being the expert in our company so that you don't have to be. And so I think it's important for you to know that we believe, and of course it's the business we're in, that your investment is an excellent investment. And we want to help you continue to recognize that, see that, and actually have that experience. And so we're going to continue in with our series of little videos that hope to, provide information and a way that you can get information that puts your mind at ease that your property is under control, and we are happy to manage it. Thank you so much. We'll see you next month.